Live from Bar Dunk in beautiful downtown Racine, Wisconsin. It's the podcast that fucked something up, apparently.
It's the podcast. We'll play a broadcast over
False start.
It's a podcast.
Listener warning. Everything about this podcast is offensive and often stupid.
Live from beautiful downtown Racine, Wisconsin at Bar Dunk, it's the Gamegasm Podcast. Guys, games, and beer. Thanks, Larry.
Okay, sad news. Wait, everyone. Sad news.
Yeah.
We don't have a game beer tonight. But that being said, we all have beer, and we've all been drinking for a while.
How'd my PBR go?
I have hard liquor. Does that count?
It's as good as beer, so yes, hard liquor counts just fine.
What about sake?
Sake is technically a brewed, so yes, it counts as a beer.
So, by majority, this episode of G2B is brought to you by Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Hey!
Get drunk.
Smoother.
Yep. And a blue is a blue ribbon on every can.
There's two, douchebag. Turn the can. There's two of them.
Front and back.
No.
No, it's two because if it was the back, it would be the lettering would be reversed.
How do you know that?
Because I've seen
Because
the
of
blue ribbon.
physics.
All right, so, Rob.
By the way, this past two reasons used to bring you the fine radio stylings of
Larry, who you can't hear.
I did not know that.
Yes.
All right, so.
That's why I totally know the smoother sound.
All right, so, Rob, what are we talking about tonight on Guys, Games, and Beer?
Testicles. We're talking about... No, I'm sorry.
Okay.
We're talking about remakes, reboots, and tributes. We're going to talk about basically recycling games into new games or bringing back that dirty old game and making it fresh and new again.
So like what Hollywood's doing?
Okay.
Pretty much.
Yeah, a rejuvenation.
It's a little different, though.
Yeah, you just go to the gynecologist, they do this little surgery, rejuvenate it, it looks as good as new when they're done.
Like Kegel exercises,
Yes.
right? Okay.
Yes, but with surgery.
Digital Kegels.
Okay. Oh, digital Kegels.
Kegels. Whatever, it's
Okay,
Kegel the elf.
digital Kegels. I'm good with
Pickles
that.
is when you're like redoing a beer.
Ankles are this fatty part.
Those are cankles. Those are cankles.
So, just out of curiosity, we're not going to explain, right?
Yeah, we're gonna have a nice 45-minute explanation.
No, of course we're going to explain exactly what this is. Oh, all right. No, Larry wants us to explain why all of a sudden we've gone from this podcast that was sitting in front of whatever
Yes.
to a podcast that kind of almost looks like we actually know what we're doing. Well, we don't. Rob, why do we have this behind us, Rob?
Well, we're getting ready for a couple big shows, and now that we traded one of the towers, this is what we got for it, basically.
What a trade!
Was this like a Hooverville, like shanty town that we traded this for?
Well, you know what the tower's like on the inside.
You've seen the tower on
see the inside.
This is the best we're going to do, okay?
We had to kick all the hobos out.
Okay,
terrible.
so we are literally doing a show this weekend. What show are we doing this weekend, Rob?
We're going to do Gamehole Con this weekend, and that's a pretty enjoyable show for us. So we're going to have this up there, hopefully.
Where is Gamehole Con?
Gamehole Con.
It's
It's
at the Alliant Energy Center in Madison, Wisconsin. You definitely, if you haven't been, this is their third year. They have grown exponentially since they started. They outgrew their
basement.
Their basement. Their digs last year, and so this year they've moved to the Alliant Energy Center, and it looks like it's going to be pretty damn good.
That's awesome.
Be able to watch us live?
Yeah, we're going to do a live recording at some point. Yes, there will probably be people standing around like there always are, going, what are you doing?
But we will try to do a show from there.
Hey, buddy, beer?
Beer? Okay.
Why do I want to go to Gamehole Con?
Because we're going to be there.
Wow, let's see.
Other than us.
Tabletop gaming until all day long. Oh my God. So they really focus mainly on old school tabletop gaming. I mean, yes, they've got some newer gaming, but it really full out, Dungeons and Dragons, Pathfinder, the latest in indie gaming.
So you could say this is almost a tribute to Gen Con.
Okay, you know, you're
Yeah,
right.
that was a
Actually,
nice
you can.
segue.
You can. Nice segue, okay?
You're welcome.
The masturbatory movement that I have inside just isn't large enough to convey what that was.
I had to cross my legs because I got wood.
All right, so, Rob, let's go back to what we are talking about
All
tonight.
right, let's talk definitions here, and we're going to use these definitions for the show. Feel free to bitch and
Are we
moan.
gonna make our viewers smarter with those or dumber with those?
Kind of a cross. It's less like a deep dive and more like we're screwing with your head so that we can get this podcast over with, type of thing.
And back to drinking.
What he
And
really
back to
needs
drinking.
is a little column A, a little column B.
A little bit of everything. A little Columbine, really.
Oh, no, no,
Too
no, no.
soon?
No, too
Too
soon.
soon?
Still too soon. Still
okay.
too soon.
I'll save that one for a few years.
Almost. Still too soon.
I'll save that one for a few years.
All right, so, Rob, definitions.
Somebody's crying.
Webster's defines.
No, shut the fuck up.
Rob defines.
Okay, and we're talking about in the video game business. We're not necessarily talking about movies, everything else, because there's a lot of licensing that goes on that's kind of goofy in video gaming that isn't there. Well, that's more loose than it is in other places. So we're gonna start with a
How did you come up? Are these hard definitions or definitions you came up with from gleaning and research?
There's a little bit of both. I've softened the definitions because none of them are really good and they overlap a lot. So I wanted them a little bit more defined, so I defined them a little bit better.
Oh, okay.
Because some of these are often used interchangeably, and they probably shouldn't because there's licensing differences here. Let's start with the remake. Okay, so it's when a near or very close clone is made of a classic game by a development team other than the original, and it does not involve the original publisher or license. That's the important part. It does not generally involve the original publisher or license, and we'll get into the other ones, and that'll explain why this is the way it is. These games often have names very similar or exactly the same as the game they're remaking. They're often released as freeware. Very often, a remake is released as freeware, largely because of the licensing. Some examples: Identure. Identure is one of the best clones, and clone's another good way of putting it, except... but Identure is an adventure remake of the Atari 2600 Classic. It's basically adventure.
Right.
It's a remake of the thing. It's on a platform that it never came out for. That's another nice thing, but you can remake it on the same platform, I suppose.
Yeah, no, that does bring up the point. So,
Flappy Birds on Vectrex?
Yes, that would be a good remake. There's no licensing anywhere.
right, and it wasn't called Flappy Birds on the Vectrex. It was called
Becky Birds.
Becky Birds, which is just a complete remake of Flappy Birds, but it's released on the Vectrex.
I like the way you brought Vectrex into that.
That was very good, actually. He reached for that,
Yeah.
grabbed it, and pulled it right down.
Yeah, that was. I didn't have that example. I'm very
was a good
glad
one.
you brought that one up.
That's one in a million. We are not going to bank on it.
No. So, and another one would be like Jelly Monsters on the Commodore VIC-20. I'm sorry, was it VIC-20 or C64? C64, which was a absolute perfect. I'm sorry, Pac-Man. I mean, it was the best Pac-Man available.
And everybody had to have it.
Yeah, and they did, and it was a public domain. There was never an official release of it because it was a complete rip-off of
Right.
that.
Some other examples I gave was like Bruce Lee for the Sega Master System, which is actually an improved version of Bruce Lee. And there's a PC clone as well.
Well,
of it.
how far
Bruce
away from the original? Like, okay, so obviously there was a million Pac-Mans out there. For example,
Munchman.
Munchman, or that kind of thing. Or one of your favorite games, and I'm going to screw up the name, Sisters.
Great Giannis.
Great Giannis Sisters, which is the perfect Mario
That would be a
clone.
pirate ass copy. Would be.
Yeah, they actually sold that.
God, I love that
They
game.
actually sold that.
So how far out? If
But better yet, it had a reboot, which is my next definition because I'm not going to spend 2 hours on
Okay.
fucking remake.
Yeah, because we can talk forever about remake.
Reboot is a licensed remake of a classic game or even a newer game. It can be newer that revisits the same content while updating it for a modern audience. Sometimes it's the same game developer. Sometimes it's not. Often it's created by the same team. Sometimes it's not. Very often it's not, in fact. But it's very often created to start a new series. But the important thing is that word licensed. It is a licensed version. And it bears the same name legally as
Right.
the game that it's rebooting.
So, and Pac-Man's so good because it has so many. It basically falls in all of these.
It does actually end up doing
Pack
that.
Attack, a Pack World.
They might be
I don't know.
spin-offs.
I would call those more. I would call those tributes more. And we'll get into. I'm sorry. I'm jumping ahead. I'm jumping the gun.
Bomberman's is basically the same game, but I played the original where it's real flat, and then you play it on the Dreamcast, and it's three-dimensional. But it's basically the exact same game with a few
Often it's
add-ons.
gone for a while, and Bomberman's been on everything. I'll give you a good example. Is the upcoming Doom reboot is a reboot. That is a reboot of Doom. Doom 3 technically was a reboot too because it actually took the first story and redid it.
Halo.
Final Fantasy VII.
Okay, no, you're right. Yes.
The Master Chief Collection. Or
Right, the
Halo
Master
2
Chief Collection.
Anniversary. Yeah.
They just updated content and.
I think it's the same code though, which would kick it out of reboot.
I don't think it's the same
No,
code.
no. It couldn't be.
No.
Because
It wouldn't run on that system.
right. Well, yes, it would. Asterisk. Sorry. So, okay. Basically, like if you look at the Master Chief Collection,
Grabbing a mic like you
because I don't this whole thing. It's Halo. It's gonna make me laugh because it's Master Chief Collection, which is just bad.
Halo makes me laugh.
Yeah.
Continue.
Laugh tears of joy. No.
Right, that does follow under a reboot.
Yeah, I would consider that a reboot. Specifically, I mean, just look at it's a licensed intellectual property. Yeah.
And they recoded it. They didn't just
Exactly. Right. And they can't like if that were the case, if they were just to recode it, why wouldn't you be able to just play Xbox 360 games on the Xbox One, which you obviously can't do.
Yeah.
Yeah. But eventually, but that's a different ball game.
It's a reboot.
You can
know,
slip it in there.
On that,
Especially when they combined it and they put new. I think that might be fair because the net code was redone.
That's
And-
correct.
And in an entirely new way. I mean,
Right.
it was upgraded.
Well, Bungie's has since 2004 has been notoriously bad. So I'm really glad that it was updated. Now that being
All
said,
right, you got me kind of convinced. There.
do reboots like look at the Master Chief Collection, okay? And you mentioned it right there,
help us see Master Chef.
Master Chef Collection, Miyamoto. No,
Now I'm seeing him in that suit, like with a flipper.
with a spatula and an apron.
Yeah, doing the whole what is the Mama cooking one?
Oh, Cooking Mama.
Cooking Mama. Yeah, I can see the Master Chief doing Cooking Mama.
You know, I actually have one quick thing though. What is your guys' opinion about reboots
We are
between
totally getting-
generations?
You know that we're going to
Like-
go into this. We're going to go into this.
Okay.
But I'd like to throw a few examples out I think might fit in this. I just want to be clear on the
I want to see if
topic
they're on my
myself.
list.
Gabriel Knight, the 25th anniversary.
What? I bet that would count as a reboot because
That's a
it
reboot.
booted into some new episodes too, which...
Exactly.
And King's Quest is
Yeah,
another one.
there we go. That is...
Reboot.
So I think those are good examples.
Dang, I gave Bionic Commando and Strider.
Does it count as a reboot if, like, let's say it is like a 25-year anniversary, and they just make the same game run on a different platform? They don't update anything. It's literally
No.
just the same.
Yes,
thing.
that's a reboot. That's still a reboot because you have to recode it to do it. So you're
I don't know how you would not at least update the graphics.
you can update the graphics.
No, well, okay. No.
Pac-Man,
You're not gonna. You might update the graphics, but if it's the 50-year anniversary of the original, and they don't update the graphics,
I don't know if
They
I can call it-
intentionally
although
force
it's
their system to do
Totally different platform, though. They
Yeah, I would
rebooted
have
it
to call
on
it a
the
reboot.
iPad.
I would have to call it a reboot. I really would because you have to recode it completely.
Now, but here's the thing: are you emulating it, or are you recoding?
No,
the
they're
entire
recoding
thing?
it in most
Emulating
cases.
is different beast.
They're recoding in most cases.
That's pretty solid conversation.
That was actually God.
Holy shit!
We actually imparted knowledge on that one.
So I said Pack Attack.
Okay, we're gonna-
But I'm thinking about the one where it's basically Pac-Man, but it's a top-down 3D.
Pac-Mania.
Pac-Mania. Right, but again, I think that's more.
I think that's a reboot.
No, that's not a reboot.
Sequel,
I-
but God, it
no.
could be a reboot.
I don't think it's a
If done
reboot.
properly.
I don't think it's a reboot.
If taken
Okay,
properly.
but let's talk about.
Why not?
Well, because I think that's more a tribute. It's Pac-Man, but it's a tribute to Pac-Man.
Well, no, that's got licensing, so it gets right out of there.
What do we define a tribute as then?
All right,
well,
let's
wait. Now
go
we're
with
just
tribute.
about to get to defining a tribute.
Tribute becomes nice. By the way,
What we do?
unlicensed sequel or remake of a game that features a similar name and theme. It often has many of the features of the original, but it does not have the official license. It is also often made by the developer that originally made it, or part of the team that originally made it, because they no longer have the license. And I gave one earlier, and I'm gonna give it again. because it's an early example of this kind of thing. Wasteland, its tribute game is Fallout. Fallout was actually a tribute to Wasteland. They couldn't get the license.
Oh, so the
they
same developers who did Fallout did Wasteland.
You know what the funny part is? They're actually making Wasteland 2 finally.
It's already done, yeah.
Yeah, it's already done.
I kickstarted
No,
it.
wait, did they get a whole new team of developers for that?
No, it's Brian.
No.
It's the guy that did the original Wasteland.
So he's doing that as well.
I don't know
And
if he's involved in
it's updated graphics, and it's pretty much the same as like where it was like
It's way far away from it, but it is a reboot of the franchise, most certainly.
Another new one, and I'm sorry, I don't have the name, but I know it has the word tree in it, tree of something, but Ragnarok. Ragnarok's getting a new one.
Wait, they're rebooting Ragnarok?
They're not rebooting, it's a tribute. It is the same developer.
Wait, you better explain
Ragnarok.
what Ragnarok
Okay,
was.
Ragnarok was an isomorphic RPG that was super huge in the 2000s, and yes, we sank so much time to it. Travis and I actually tried to build our own server. The tribute is Tree of something. Brian, help me out here, dude. iPad that, so I don't look too dumb.
Yay, iPad.
But that game is made by the same developing team, and there was a Ragnarok 2 that came out that was
Tree of Savior.
Tree of Savior.
Yay.
Now, see, that is what I would definitely define as a tribute, because it's the original developers who didn't have the Ragnarok licensing, so they're going that route. Well, we'll just release a new game and call it Tree of Savior.
Yeah.
So that's exactly
Which
the definition of a
sometimes
tribute.
gets you sued.
Yeah.
Here's a thought for you. And I'm not sure on the timeline of this situation, but I think it's true. Is King's Bounty a tribute to Heroes of Might and Magic?
That literally has the name of Tree.
I don't know
Or a
who
rip
did-
out.
and I
A
don't know
rip
who
out.
did- I don't know who did. I don't think it was the same developer. So I would say that's more.
It might just be the same genre.
Yeah.
Might be a genre.
See, now we're starting to
See,
split
this is
it.
why it's very hard
This
to
is
get
where
it.
he needs to come down with those definitions, because
Right.
the problem is a
Is
tribute.
it
I agree.
roguelike?
I think a tribute should be
Everything's
by the
roguelike.
initial developers. I think that really is a good way to define a tribute.
You know what? Yeah, and you know what? You nailed it on the head right there. If a game that is not made, an unlicensed sequel that is not made by the original developer, that would be considered a remake, in my opinion. Is basically what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If they make
a
the same
tribute-
game,
yeah, sorry.
Right, that goes back to what we originally talked about: remakes.
Yeah, or they're shooting for a similar name that they literally just missed this game on on a new platform and they just come out with it.
Yeah.
All right, so I had some tribute examples.
Wait a minute, Ben.
What?
Small glass of sake there.
I got a driver.
Well, good.
And I don't work tomorrow, so.
Do you have a puker?
Yes, you're looking at it.
Yeah,
We here at GTB. Damn it, I had it. We here at GTB do not condone drinking and driving. Be responsible.
have drunken Larry drive you home.
DD. Oh wait, it's the DD as he drinks his Pabst. Continue, Rob.
All right, so some examples I had were Mighty Number 9, which is a tribute to Megaman. It's made by the guys that made Megaman, but it's not Megaman, but it looks a hell of a lot like it.
It seems like Team 17 should have a few of these somewhere.
TXK would be an example, which we were talking about Minter earlier, who's one of my favorite people on Earth. Tempest. Got him sued, the bastards at Atari. The soulless monster
Okay, so
that is now Atari.
what he's talking about, he's talking about the Jaguar version of Tempest.
No, that was Tempest.
Tempest 2000, which was fucking
Right.
awesome.
But it landed him in some heat because he made TXK, which came out on the Vita and was about to come out on several other platforms. But Atari, being an evil corporation now, owned by some freaking aliens. I think it's owned by the
Lizard people.
Lizard people?
Yeah, the lizard
I
people.
think it's owned by the lizard people.
crab people.
Yeah, it's owned by lizard people.
Crab people.
They basically sued him to stop it, which is too bad because TXK is better than anything Atari will do, at least based on recent. Although they did make that really good shooter, first-person over-the-shoulder shooter that we played on an episode. That was really good. I'm trying to remember the name of it. I still bust it out every once in a while. Do you remember it? We did a whole episode on it.
It was
played
your
it.
mother's backside.
But anyway, Minimum was the name of that. That was
Okay,
actually
all right.
really good. Atari.
Oh
game.
yeah.
But other than that, they're soulless sucking
That
bastards.
was the robots and the.
That was the Max and
Yeah. That's a really good game.
That was a good game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Wasn't
That's
there.
a tribute game?
No. I was saying that Atari hasn't made
They
anything
actually,
of worth in
that,
years.
but
and that's-
they released that
Except-
one, and that was
except
actually
that.
fairly good.
Yeah, that's a
okay.
good game.
It didn't feel like it.
No, it did not feel like something Atari did.
No, it didn't.
They
Because
just
it was
bought-
good.
They just bought the rights to it
It
from
feels like
somebody.
something Activision did.
Oh! Damn!
Wow, that came up like a 40-year tear right there. That
Yeah,
was like,
you did. You just got them with a 40-year-old cut.
damn.
So could we wheel back
Get
around
them
to
phones out.
remakes? I have a quick one for you guys on that.
Oh.
So basically, look at the source game. Can't talk today. Source game engine. Okay, would you consider anything that somebody is like a fan has developed in there, like Half-Life, the remake that they remake?
Yeah.
It's a remake.
You
Yeah,
would consider that
Half-Life's a remake.
Okay.
Yes.
It does use the same engine. I mean, it's a skinning, but still.
Right, but I still think that's a
think
remake.
it's
I really do.
solid remake.
Okay, and that's along the same line.
You
Elite.
just got done talking about how it's important that the code be. If you're using the same engine, you just
Same engine. No. Same engine.
Yeah, engines.
It's an upgraded version of the same engine. I don't know.
That's, yeah.
I mean, if the original was made in C++ and the new one, if the original one was made in C and the new one's made in C++,
Right,
it's
that's
essentially
recoding.
different, yeah.
Here's the
It
thing.
didn't have the
Isn't
abilities.
C++ just a remake of C?
Yeah.
So
Wow.
why not just
No, it's a reboot.
Ben, fair play, buddy. Actually, I got one for you. Then I've seen several games that have been basically like Super Mario Brothers, done in the Unreal Engine a couple of times.
That'd be a remake.
You would consider that a remake?
There's no license.
It's, right, no licensing,
Well,
all new coding.
Wouldn't that be a tribute then?
That would be a
if it's not made by the
But it's-
No, it's
No,
not.
that would be a
It's
remake.
the same name, it's not the same development team.
Same name,
Or
same name,
similar
but a
name.
different development team.
Yeah,
Not
that'd
fair
go
play.
under remake. Yeah, that's
Fair play.
That's why the licensing thing is such a big thing in this particular one. And by the way, they are used somewhat interchangeably very often. I just wanted clear definitions so that people would understand that they are kind of different things.
It is different, but it's really tough to define. I mean,
Right.
it gets a little gray on the edges here.
You know, it's like pornography. I watch a lot of it. Oh wait, no.
I know it if I I know it if I see it. All right,
Yeah.
yes.
I see it
It's like the
everywhere.
difference between YouPorn and YouPorn and Pornhub. Yeah, there we go. Problem solved.
Rob, can we stop talking about pornos for a second?
have no
we are
idea
going
what
to be
you're talking
posting
about.
our definitions, right? So
A porn?
So, oh, it is now, motherfucker.
I like that idea. We will have a list of these definitions along with this episode, so that if you need to redefine what we're talking about here,
Video game definitions.
yes, these
Not
are for video
the
games
porn
only.
definitions that apparently Brian wants to go
movies,
into.
or
If you
YouPorn.
want to tell us how wrong we are, which you're not shy
I
about.
stepped out of the conversation for like a moment to like look at my phone.
and we got back to porn.
And all of a sudden I come back and it's like nothing but porn. And you wanna know who I had starting it? Brian. No. What the hell?
No, you
All I heard was
I agree, it was Brian.
talking about Pornhub.
Now,
And
now
I'd
to be
like
fair,
to know why.
Ben is extra happy because normally he gets blamed for such things.
You know what? The fans will absolve me. Please, in the comments. In the comments, define whether or not it was Ben or me,
We get comments?
meaning it was
I
Ben.
think it's
Yes,
great
we
if
have
we get
comments.
We actually have
We
comments.
do have comments.
Yeah. All right, so
You're pointing at Larry.
All I have to say is wow.
all right, so let's get back down to we were talking about the final version.
All right, now let's start talking about our favorites in these categories. Let's not. I don't want to break it up.
All right,
I just want to go
just
with a couple
favorites. It can be any of the three categories. Pick
Yeah.
a favorite. Okay.
Yeah. Pick one and go with it, Ben.
okay, it hasn't come out yet, but I'm super excited about the Final Fantasy, and they say it's a remastering. We didn't define that word, but they say they're
Well,
gonna
Remaster, remake, same thing.
they're gonna change some.
No, that's
They're
different.
changing some things about the storyline, but they say that the general storyline is going to stay the same.
Ares is now Aerith now for everybody. Just saying.
Whatever, I don't care. I'm just waiting to see it's that great story redone where I don't think that I'm just seeing Mega Bloks characters.
And then you just can watch the stabbing over and over and over again.
Whoa!
How about it for you,
It's a sad
Brian?
scene.
For me, for remake, I'd have to go with. You'll have to tell me if I'm wrong on this, but Command and Conquer, the original Command and Conquer. Would that be a remake?
Of the original Command and Conquer.
Yeah.
So
Expansion.
with
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing expansion.
now wait a minute now. So
That's why I asked.
No, wait, no,
Because
no.
we've been so loose with our
It's
definitions.
wait a minute. It's not the same. It's not the same developers. So
No.
so it's. I would say it's a remake.
Yeah,
I'll go with it.
Right. Yeah. No, I would say. I agree. I think it's a
Of course,
remake.
it does have the original license, so it might be a reboot.
Yeah.
It's a different developer.
But how are you?
This is
license, though.
But then again,
Right.
you can say the same thing about
They own the license.
Yeah.
Well, if you're gonna go
That's
into
a
that
reboot.
direction
Yeah,
too,
fair
think about like how many Street Fighters there were too. Like the second one, and then with 4, with how many games.
They occasionally
what would
did
you-
reboot Street Fighter. They
Street Fighter
Occasionally,
Yeah.
super hyper.
That's not a reboot. That's still the same goddamn game.
Yeah,
It's a bug fix.
The one that they made like 7 other different games to. Let's just
Street
get it.
Fighter 2.
Yeah, Street Fighter 2. And then they made 3 more, and now they're making another one, which is 5. And I'm wondering how many are they gonna put towards that one.
What about any of the Wolfenstein games?
That too.
That was rebooted.
Yeah. That
There
was
was a reboot.
rebooted.
Beautifully rebooted.
In fact, it was rebooted twice.
Beautifully. So good.
It was rebooted. It was originally a top-down game, adventure game, and then it was rebooted into
The fuck?
Wolf 3D. Then it was rebooted to Wolf 3D. Then it was rebooted again. It really reboots a lot. It's kind of like, well, it's a lot like a Windows machine.
It doesn't go.
Damn it. Okay. So all right.
Windows Vista machine.
Windows Vista machine. Okay. So Larry, your favorite, or one that you want to talk about?
You know, here's the problem. By the definitions that were given, most of the games I play don't fall into a lot of those categories or the favorites. Like, for example, Pac-Mania, once I got the name right, is actually one of my favorites in the Pac
Fabulous.
line.
But I would say that's a tribute. That does fit into those categories.
Or at least it's in one of these loosely.
All right, well then that's it. I
I'm
mean,
fine with the loose
I
definition.
like the top down, the sort of 3D modeling and stuff. You're still playing a maze game with the ghosts and
the
you know
dots.
and the dots. You're
right.
basically playing the exact same game, but
Yeah,
and they do and they add
the Lego level.
they add that,
Okay, so
and
that's not in the original game.
and they add the ability to jump.
Right, which they didn't have in the original level.
They
so
did.
see, that's why I think it's more a tribute. Those changes, I think, make it a tribute versus a.
All right, well then I guess my favorite is in the tribute category, and
But
it's
you-
Pac-Mania.
Good call. Good call. That is a good tribute, actually. I think that was. All right,
Mike.
I believe mine is a remake. I'm gonna go with the DuckTales.
Oh yeah, that one that just came out on Steam.
That one, it's been out for a long.
Remake DuckTales.
They remade
Graphics,
updated graphics. The background's more like 3D looking, but like each sprite and character is still 2D. So like when you kill them, they're still 2D and everything like that. And the levels are pretty much all the same.
That is a remake. That's
Wait a
perfect.
minute.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be a reboot of
That'd be a
No.
remaster probably, but still, I'm taking it. 'cause
No,
I
it's.
love that game.
I believe it's called. I think they actually call it a
I think
remake.
it's a remake. You take the original
I
game,
think it's
and
fair
you just
enough.
make it over again.
I would like to
already
mention that's how well Tom pays attention to the show. I've talked about it twice.
DuckTales?
Yes.
Yeah, you did.
Bullshit.
You did not. Okay,
No,
wait.
no.
I think it's before the show.
This episode.
Show of hands. Did anybody hear him talk about
He
DuckTales
did.
during the
I think
show?
it was before the show.
During the show.
Oh,
It was before
I'm not
the
sure if
show.
it's-
I
Before
talked
the
about
show.
it on this show.
And you blew your load.
Yeah.
There's a rule about blowing your load everywhere, Larry. Yeah, blew it everywhere.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Actually, I have a question for you guys.
We're not getting back to sex. Come on, we're not getting back to that
I
conversation.
have a question for you guys. What would you consider a remaster? Would you put that under a reboot or a remake?
Fine.
Remake.
Remake? Okay.
Really,
It's
a
roughly
remaster
under
is
that.
a remake.
I mean, a remaster is
Not
really.
in public.
It's not. No, it has licensing. Remasters do have licensing.
Right, but
they're
they're
basically
remakes.
the same game, just with upgraded graphics. It's not really under that remake. I'm going for more of the definition that's used in the retro community, which is like Retro Remakes, which is a site that specializes in remakes of retro games, and I'm going with that kind of definition of a remake, not so much a remastering. I think remastering is its own beast that kind of crosses these lines.
Well,
Okay, it has a
well, now
license.
that's going to bring up mine then.
audio. If you use an audio
But I'm okay
form,
with
if
it,
you
I
use
mean-
an audio form of remastering, it's about restoring what has been degraded from time. So you wanted to get the Amiga version of some game out there.
Right.
You know.
Wait.
Just like the original.
No.
That
I
would
can
be-
also see
that-
that in the exact invert, where it's Dude, I can't play Atari 2600 games and be as excited as you were because I had games that were in 3D. I don't have the imagination where it goes, I'm getting in this game. That degradation of time, you remaster it so that now instead of having...
That's why I think you would remake it.
No, that I see that as a remastering of let's just... We're going to update the graphics.
No, that's then you've changed it. You've remade it, not remastered it. I agree with Larry. Remastering means you're just taking the same game, making sure that it's fidelity is clear, and putting it on that.
Is the game defined by the play or by the way it looks?
By the play.
Then if I don't change the play and I only change by the graphics... No, if I don't...
It is changed. It is changed. An experience of a game is the completion of it all. I mean, it's the gameplay, it's the sound,
the control,
it's the controls, it's the graphics. If you start improving on those, you've changed the experience of playing that game.
Yeah, I would consider that might not be a bad thing.
No, it might not be a bad thing, but
I'm sorry, I can't get into some of those games. I can get into them; they're fun, but they don't. They're not like as flashy.
There are people that want the original experience to be the original experience. Yeah, fine. I mean, it's like, and maybe you don't appreciate, and that's fine, certain nuances of a game in its sort of unbelievably bad state. But there's sometimes a charm or an art that takes place to having something in its original state. And a remastering is about restoring it to what it was when it originally came out. Remaking is taking that concept and putting it in today's terms with the better graphics and better sound. And
except corporations regularly use the term remastered for a game that has just had upgraded.
Okay. We're getting in the weeds.
All right, this is why I did not want. I wanted a loose definition.
Let me go with what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with Elite. Now it's being called Elite Dangerous.
Oh hell yeah!
Thank you. I'm going to call that a remake. All right.
Spot on.
What? Okay. Yes. So he's right. I should look at the fucking camera.
That's a
okay?
reboot.
Stop looking at me.
I would call that one a
looking
reboot.
at my butt all night. Would you call that a reboot or a remake?
They're rebooting that. That is
your butt. I would
that
call.
Is,
okay, you're right.
That's a new world.
You're right. It's a reboot. It's a reboot because it really is. They've expanded it, added more graphics to it, put online play in it. You're right. That is a
licensed,
reboot.
It revisits the same content.
Right. It is the same developers though.
Yeah, and that can definitely be it.
Which is what I like about it. It's the fact it's the same developers that makes that difference. So the game is freaking awesome. I mean, it really, that is a perfect. You could almost, in some ways, it pays tribute to the original Elite without being a tribute game.
So your ass is a game now, right? Because that's what you're talking about was your ass, and then you started talking.
I'd
about
play it.
Drunken difficulties. Please stand by. Guys, Games, and Beer will be back in a moment.
All right.
Let's go.
Enough. All right, I'm gonna go with my favorites. I'm gonna go. I got two, man. I don't want to do two, but
two in.
All right,
It's his mic and his.
I want to talk about the Thexter reboot from a few years ago that was on the PSP. It was great.
Which game?
Thexter. It was early '80s or middle. No, Thexter. God, giant robot. You could transform. It was an early transforming game. It was great on the Apple II GS. It was great on the NES, and it's great on the PSP. Much better graphics. Really nice game.
Oh, thank you.
They had rights, so they did it. The next one would be Grid Runner Revolution by Jeff Minter, which is a remake of Grid Runner, except psychedelic in that Jeff Minter way that he is so well known for.
And by the way, you do realize Rob has a man crush on Jeff Minter.
He's got a boner right now.
He does. Oh, yeah. Cross your legs. Cross your legs.
Don't you mean Long Island?
Oh!
Hey, Brian, tell us about New York.
No.
Okay. Let's
talk about Long Island.
All right, so.
Yeah.
All right, so I think I'm gonna wrap this up.
Let's wrap this up.
I have a side point.
It's
complete. No, it's a completely tangential point, and it won't be quick. I watched Pixels.
You did watch Pixels.
I watched
you really
Pixels.
actually sat down and watched.
I watched Pixels. I actually kind of enjoyed it. I thought it was kind of fun.
Well, I haven't seen it, so I can't comment.
And I thought it was great. that they took Billy Mitchell, made him really short and super embarrassing. So that was great.
Oh, Larry has just thrown down the gauntlet again, Billy. Where the fuck is your ass now?
First, he's talking shit about his hot sauce. Now he's talking about him being a midget.
Now, Billy Mitchell, you're this big.
It's so clear, and he can't even mad at me for this. First, Peter Dinklage's character is Billy Mitchell.
Right.
He's short.
Yeah.
Which I don't know what Billy Mitchell is. I'm not saying he's not, but he's got that same sort of haircut, and his best game is Donkey Kong, and they threw down. Oh yeah, they threw down on him.
Did they pick on his hot sauce too?
They did not pick on the hot sauce. They didn't put him in jail though.
Oh, okay.
So that's because basically it's like, yeah, I did this thing in high school and then never did anything else again.
Oh,
and it's really his character.
Ouch.
Yeah. So, and spoiler alert: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was enough time. He's a cheater too.
Oh, ouch.
So I gotta tell you,
So, Billy-
hey Billy, you should be writing them guys.
Oh, not us. You right, Larry.
No,
Larry
not
at
me. I didn't make the movie.
guysgamesandbeer.net.
I'm just pointing out the obvious similarities.
Oh, that you're a cheater.
Well, I think that episode should have ended about 5 minutes earlier.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you very much for watching Guys, Games, and Beer. Hopefully, we will see you over at Gamehole Con this weekend. Very excited about that in Madison. Don't forget to check us out, www.guysgamesandbeer.net. You can check us out on Facebook where there's free game giveaways and comments and all sorts of crazy crap going on. That's www.facebook.com/guysgamesandbeer. And don't forget, we Twitter.
Your daughter.
That's at Guys Games Beer, no and. And there's free game giveaways. Thank you very much. Have a good night.